In the sprawling waterways and dense rainforests of the Amazon basin, a colossal serpent reigns supreme, the Eunectes Murinus, famously known as the green anaconda. Join us on an expedition into the realm of this formidable predator, as we uncover its evolutionary history, ecological significance, and the challenges it confronts. The green anaconda, Eunectes murinus, ranks as the heaviest and one of the longest snake species on Earth, reaching sizes of over 550 pounds and 30 feet in length. Ranging across tropical South America east of the Andes, the solitary green anaconda inhabits rivers, swamps, and seasonally flooded forest basins. Evolutionary history. Like all boas and pythons, anacondas share common ancestry from primitive snake lineages originating in the mid-Cretaceous period. After the mass extinction event eliminating dinosaurs 66 million years ago, snakes underwent an evolutionary radiation exploiting newly vacated ecological niches. Around 30 million years ago, South America remained an isolated island continent, favoring the evolution of diverse endemic lineages like giant ground sloths, capybaras, and primitive anaconda ancestors. 6 to 11 million years ago, the formation of the Isthmus of Panama connected North and South America, facilitating a biotic exchange still reshaping New World ecosystems today. During this time, Eunectid anacondas dispersed northward, competing with boas which had migrated southward down the Central American peninsula. Ultimately, anacondas displaced boas east of the Andes, while boas prevailed west of the Andes in warmer, drier areas unsuitable for the more aquatic anacondas. Within the genus Eunectes, E. murinus differentiated from the closely related E. destuensii inhabiting the Caribbean coast, possibly within the last 1 million years based on limited data. Ongoing work suggests subtle genetic distinctions may isolate additional cryptic anaconda species across watershed divides like the Orinoco and Amazon River basins. Massive yet streamlined, anacondas boast thick muscular bodies rippled with strength, topped with small heads no wider than the neck. Vertebral counts average 245 to 250. Coloration consists primarily of olive green dorsally with overlaid black ocelli shapes transitioning to yellow along the flanks before yielding entirely yellow or gray ventral scales peppered with dark spots. Small dark eyes rest beneath heat-sensing facial pits, adept at detecting endothermic prey like birds and mammals. The tongue samples chemical cues conveying directionality, while tiny nerve endings across the scales feel vibrations transmitted through water or the substrate. Powerful jaws facilitated by 4 rows of replacement teeth latch down with over 60 sharp recurved teeth curving backwards, securing struggling prey caught within looping coils. Anacondas ambush prey from streams and along the shore before constricting tightly with their tremendous strength equivalent to 5 humans. Suffocation commences within minutes. Females vastly outsize males, potentially reaching 29 feet and 215 kilograms after decades of growth, compared to male lengths just over 13 feet. Reaching just 3 feet long at birth from their mother's 60-plus inch length, infant anacondas appear as tiny mimics of the adults and feed on proportionally sized prey items. Ecology. Green anacondas occupy aquatic habitats including slow-moving rivers, swamps, marshes, and seasonally flooded tropical forests across northern South America east of the Andes Mountains. Vast wetland regions like the Llanos grasslands and Amazon River provide optimal habitat. Opportunistic apex predators, anacondas ambush prey along shorelines with quick explosive bursts before subduing them with constricting coils rising above the water surface. Consumed prey ranges widely in size from fish and rodents to deer, peccaries, tapir calves, cattle, macaws, large wading birds, and even jaguars. Their flexible jaws allow ingestion of enormous meals as big as themselves. Expandable stomachs facilitate capacity for just one large meal every several weeks. But prey capture limitation due to gape-size body size frequently limits juvenile diets to predominantly fish before adulthood. Anacondas thrive during wet seasons when rising water levels concentrate fish in smaller areas, while also enabling expanded patrol hunting ranges into normally unreachable flooded forests used opportunistically as nurseries or food sources like low nesting birds. Cooler waters likely necessitate basking for temperature regulation. During harsh dry seasons, anacondas endure food limitation, exploiting refugia around permanent forest streams and marshlands. Habitat and behavior. Encompassing Amazon rainforest rivers, seasonally flooded savannas, swamps, marshes, and mangroves, anacondas occupy extremely heterogeneous habitat zones across tropical South America's largest drainage basin east of the Andes Mountains. While secretive and solitary normally, anacondas congregate annually at communal den sites for courtship and breeding, synchronized by rainy season water level rise, facilitating movements and prey concentration. Several males locate a single female lured possibly by pheromones. Up to 12 males entwine the prospective female, forming writhing balls of snake flesh known as breeding balls, competing through intimidating ardor for the honor to mate. Smaller subordinate males generally do not achieve successful copulation. Afterward, the female constructs a nursery chamber of vegetation near water, guarding her growing brood until they disperse following the first shedding cycle. Mostly solitary as adults, anacondas patrol core activity zones potentially surpassing 6 square kilometers in size depending on waterway distribution. But home ranges frequently overlap around key resources like shelters or prey hotspots with minimal territorial disputes. Dominant large males seem to claim optimal habitat, forcing smaller individuals into suboptimal ranges. Anacondas locate terrestrial prey via characteristic pheromone trails laid as rodents, deer, and peccaries travel repeatedly through a habitat. Ambush attacks commence with lightning speed from concealment, floating along the water's edge before seizing prey within its coils and quickly drawing it underwater. Through intense constriction, prey asphyxiates underwater within minutes. The anaconda then drags its meal ashore or keeps it submerged to drown through continued constriction before leisurely consuming its enormous prey. Conclusion. Distinguished by cryptic habits and endowed with mythic proportions blurring fact and fiction, South America's green anaconda has haunted the dark depths of the Amazon since long before humankind's first steps. Traditionally occupying aquatic habitats like slow-moving rivers, swamps and marshes across northern South America east of the Andes Mountains, the green anaconda reigns as the undisputed aquatic apex predator within its domain. Growing upwards of 29 feet long and reaching 215 kilograms in weight, giant female anacondas hunt prey as big as deer and capybaras, even occasionally finding jaguars and caimans within their grasp. Though apex aquatic hunters, anacondas also face their own vulnerabilities. Mothers protectively guard eggs and helpless neonates for months from abundant natural predators. And extreme dry spells potentially expose vulnerable individuals stranded in shrinking waters to threats from human persecution where inevitable habitat overlap occurs near settlements. Overall, anaconda dens remain remote and wild lands offer refuge, yet advancing waves of modernization have put increasing pressure on South America's sprawling wetlands and waterways, disrupting movements, fragmenting populations, and degrading prey numbers. Hydroelectric initiatives and expanding agriculture threaten to incrementally drain the living heart from these rich but imperiled ecosystems. If the shroud of secrecy protecting their existence is lost, subordinate human valuations and fears often targeting the unfamiliar could conspire towards reckless endangerment or preemptive control campaigns against randomly encountered individuals. Ultimately, as spokescreatures for South America's watershed integrity, the future hope for giant anacondas will only persist through maintaining healthy wetland ecosystem connectivity and combating irrational fears spurred by mythical misconceptions. We have much to learn from these mysterious aquatic rulers overshadowed by our own presence and yet clinging fiercely to their evolutionary destiny. Our respect for wild things gives cause for hope.